I've pulled back the curtain, as it were, to let you in on the wonderful scenes played out here at the shelter's Christmas program. The play went wonderfully. Lives and relationships were healed and restored, and the Christmas Eve dinner was enjoyed by all at the shelter. Presents were handed out Christmas morning to all the children, thanks to the generous gift that was bestowed. And now, several days later, the stage is quiet, except for myself and old Johnny, who seemed a bit puzzled to be here. There's something I wanted to show you, I exclaimed. I took him by the elbow and led him over to the side of the stage as another figure made its way from the wings. Together, we watched as Charlotte slowly walked around, gazing upon the scene affectionately. Then, kneeling and looking up to heaven, she began to pray. She thanked her Heavenly Father for his revelation of kinship to her and for what he helped them to accomplish there. She thanked him for the wonderful dinner, the presents that brightened the lives of the guests, and for the publicity they got, which promised to bring in enough to move to a new, larger facility. But mostly, she wanted to thank him for the chance to get to know her real father, however briefly, before his death. She thanked the Lord for his quiet passing in his sleep, with a smile on his face. Her last prayer was to give him a great welcome into heaven until she was reunited with him again. As she got up to leave, passing right by us, realization dawned in his eyes as I nodded in confirmation. "So I was right," he exclaimed with a snap of his fingers. "I really did feel an angel at my shoulder. And it was you." I nodded again as I told him more. I've accomplished my task to help this play minister to those watching it and those performing it. Now, I have one task left, to take you to your new home. His face broke into a smile as he wondered if I was going to fly him to heaven now. "No need," I replied. "Heaven is closer to us than most think, just beyond what people see with their natural eyes. For there is no distance in the world of the Spirit. It's like simply drawing the curtain aside that you couldn't see behind before." I never tire of seeing the reaction of God's children when they first glimpse the gates of heaven. Old Johnny, no longer looking so old, was wrapped with amazement as he saw the gates swing open to reveal the hills beyond, with a crowd gathering to welcome him in. "Look," he exclaimed with excitement and joy. "I can see Mama and Papa coming. There's my grandma and grandpa too. And look at there, it's even old Shep, bless his heart." He looked back at me, and I motioned for him to go on. "You don't need me anymore," I told him. "You're home now, and I have other work awaiting me down here. I'll see you there later." But right then, I don't think he was listening anymore, because he suddenly caught sight of the most wonderful person in heaven. As I watched Johnny join his Lord and walk through the gates to be reunited with all those waiting, I shared in the joy of being a part of the Lord's plan and work. Nobody was happier about how things turned out than me. But Owen, the shelter's handyman, would run a close second in the happy race. Seeing him do his brood dance to join in, even though he couldn't see me anymore. Owen did something that caught me totally unprepared. Leaning on his broom, he called out, "Hope to see you again." With a wink, he said, "Thanks for the help, Mr. Angel." It seems that Owen lived so close to the Lord that he was more sensitive to the unseen world around him than most. Sometimes even we servants of the Lord are surprised by what he does. The Lord is always up to something good, whether we know it or not. And that's how it all happened. In front of the curtain and behind. And as you enjoy this Christmas season and